Hi, my name is Jeremy Siskind.
And I'm Spencer Myer.
And Spencer has agreed to be the editor for my new Perpetual Motion Etudes. And we wanted to have a little conversation about the pieces so that we can share what they're about with you. So, first of all, Spencer, have you been an editor before?
I have never been
This is your first editing
This
experience.
is the first experience for me.
And so, tell me about it. I sent you the music, and then what happened?
It was interesting. There was a lot that was very much in place. So I really just found that I was looking for small details, like little accidentals that weren't not even wrong, but weren't printed correctly, and just tiny little idiosyncrasies that really only the interesting part is that I learned that I would have only noticed them if I were really playing them, which was your whole idea. But everything in terms of the hand divisions and the way it's technically laid out, they're extremely challenging. But I found that it's really the only way it could have been laid out technically.
Yeah, there was a lot of layout challenges because a lot of it's really dense
Yeah.
and tricky. And I'm just kind of curious, so I ended up deciding not to put any fingerings in there, and I was curious whether I would get it back with a few fingerings or suggestions. And what's your philosophy on whether or not to put that kind of stuff in?
I think fingering suggestions are good, but I also found throughout, and we talked about this through the process, that there were only a tiny few spots that I thought a fingering or two might be beneficial. In general, it's very well laid out. Again, technically challenging, but it's laid out so that I think there's, as long as the pianist comes with some amount of intelligence and can make decent fingering choices, there's kind of only one or two ways it might work. Actually, so it's laid out without any fingerings on the page. It's laid out very economically.
Yeah, it's so much pressure to be on the other side, because I feel like we've all played pieces where we've gotten a fingering suggestion and just totally hated it.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Or we've gotten the fingering situation that's made all the difference. And it's so difficult to be on the other side and have to make that decision.
Sure.
And
I think there's definitely unintelligent fingering choices, but I think fingerings are one of those things that are so varying from person to person.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about putting like PDFs of my versions that have all of my notations and fingerings online in case people want suggestions.
That's good.
But the book I just kind of wanted to be clean so that it's just like a blank slate.
I think that's a really good idea. And it's amazing that you have that option nowadays.
Right, exactly.
Presenting some an online component, possibly. So yeah, I think that's a great idea to just leave it up to the performer.
Yeah. So tell me about your impression of the pieces. So you already kind of referenced that they're kind of difficult and thorny.
They are. They're difficult and thorny. They definitely are. Yeah, especially because, first of all, as a classical musician, this isn't my harmonic language. Although your balance of the classical language that I know you came from initially in your early study is there. So it's this beautiful, unique language that I really love, especially the Enchanted Forest. It's really we share this love for atmospheric things and creating colors, and the Enchanted Forest especially is all about that. But I just found them extremely engaging. There's always something. They're perpetual motion, but there's always a twist, and they always take a little turn that one might not expect. But it's they're easy to get absorbed in. Is what I loved. You can really find always things to explore, and that really stimulates the brain in such an amazing way. So yeah, I really enjoy them so much.
Awesome. And one of the reasons that I wanted to have someone with a really great reputation in the classical world like you involved is that these pieces can be played one of two ways, right?
Yes.
So they can be played just as miniatures by a classical classical pianist playing a through composed piece. Yeah. Or I listed some optional improvisations. And I asked you to look at the optional improvisations as well. Did you try any?
Yeah. No, I didn't try the improvisations, but I looked at the things you had written out. But listening to what you had already recorded is so illuminating in terms of how you take the language of the piece and expound on it. It's just amazing. So it made me really wish that I have had more improvisation.
There's still time.
I know there's still time. It's never too late. It's never too late. Yeah.
But
yeah,
the pieces can just be played as through composed pieces, and they should work pretty nicely as miniatures without any improvisation.
Exactly. And I think technically also they're great exercises for classical pianists. They address a lot of really awesome and very useful techniques, whether you're moving in the jazz direction or solely classical pianist. So
awesome. I think that's all I wanted to ask. Any final words or thoughts?
Just go out and get your copy soon. I mean, they're awesome pieces.
Well, thank you so much, Spencer.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
All right.
Yeah.
That's where we end it.